There is a silent killer in the industry that no one warns you about. And it's not bad acting. It's not lack of credits. It is having too much range. In drama school, you're taught, range is the holy grail. You want to be able to play everything. I could play anything. I could be the king. I could be the queen. I could be the pauper. I could be the beggar. And you just want to dive so deeply into these roles that the audience forgets who you are. Artistically, it is very, very noble. Professionally, it's a trap because when a casting director or the industry at large is trying to put you somewhere and we just get a new thing every single time, we don't know what to do with you. They don't know your flavor. You become the guy who could just do everything, which I'm going to say is a sad reality. It means that you get hired to do nothing. But then you look at Jacob Elordi. Here is a guy who has played the teen heartthrob, the abusive sociopath, the king of rock and roll, and the British aristocrat. Now he's the monster, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. On paper, that looks like infinite range, doesn't it? It looks like he's a chameleon, but I want to argue the opposite. Jacob Elordi never disappears in his roles. He's actually playing something much smarter. He is taking that massive range and filtering it through his own unique essence. So today we are going to be breaking down why having too much range can be a problem and how Jacob Elordi fixes that through the Prism effect. Let's start with the first thing you notice about him, his energy. Well, he's also very tall, but first we're going to focus on his energy. Jacob Elordi has a very specific vibration. He even describes himself as loose and flop. There's a quote from him saying that his dad even gave him the advice to, kick back, relax, aim low. So now let's look at the range trap. Most actors playing a role like Nate Jacobs in Euphoria would most likely try and act scary and intimidating. They would puff up their chest and use high energy, right? I'm obviously over-exaggerating. They'd be trying to transform into a bad guy. Jacob didn't do that. He looked at the role and said, how do I do this and still be me? And he used his natural, heavy-lidded, low energy to play Nate Jacobs. And it worked. Not because Nate Jacobs is screaming at you. His energy just kind of simmers at the surface all the time. He looks bored while he destroys you. And that's absolutely terrifying. So what's the lesson here? The lesson is, let's learn your flavor. Example, I naturally operate probably a bit more high energy than Jacob. If I played Nate Jacobs, I would not be trying to do that low vibe. It just doesn't work on me. And most likely play him like a tea kettle with all this steam, getting ready to just... And that doesn't mean mine is worse or better than Jacob's. It just means we have two different flavors. The mistake actors make is trying to change their own flavor. Don't change your flavor, change the recipe, but keep your flavor. That main ingredient in that flavor is you. And this is where about 90% of actors get stuck. You look at me, you go, hey, Neil, I get it. Like, I need to know my essence and my flavor, but I just don't know what it is. I get it. That is the hardest part of the job. You can't read the flavor if you are inside the jar. It's exactly what I do. I don't just coach scenes. I audit an actor's soul so that you can start to understand how you're perceived and how you can utilize that in your art. So if you want to stop guessing and start actually creating a roadmap for yourself in order to have a career as an actor, I'd love to work with you. Click in the link below in the pinned comment or the description. Let's get on a call. We're going to figure out your essence together, I promise you. Now back to Jacob. Let's talk about the ugly parts. Jacob Elordi plays a lot of monsters, but do you notice how we're all kind of rooting for them? In Saltburn, Jacob plays the character Felix. Felix, I get it, very charming character, but he's also a full-blown narcissist and knows he can use his charm to manipulate people. I mean, Jacob even admitted in an interview, he said, I know my charm can be weaponized. This is a massive breakthrough. Most actors act range by judging their characters and how they're not like them. Jacob does the opposite. He finds the parts of him that is that guy. He embraces his own ability to manipulate people. He embraces his own anger. He embraces his own ugly parts and allows all of us to see it. So that when we watch him, we're not seeing a caricature of a bad guy. We are seeing a human being who is comfortable showing the audience his shadow. And because he is comfortable with it, we are drawn to it. So what can we pull away from that? You cannot have range if you are not willing to look at your ugly parts. You cannot be afraid of your own darkness. You have to be willing to expose the parts of you that you usually hide in polite society that we live in our day to day. This is what makes a character feel real, because we are grounding it in reality of feelings. Okay, now rooting back to what I said before, let's talk about his height. Jacob always thought that him being 6'5" was a bit too big and would actually put him in a box. So he'd always tell people, I'm 6'2". He was thinking to himself, if I'm too tall, I can't play the everyman or the lover or whatever. But look at what happened when he stopped lying, when he embraced his own physicality. Boom, he booked the role of the creature in Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. Jacob said that the creature and his sense of loss and pain has never been that far away from Jacob's own feelings. I mean, just think about that. He's playing a reanimated dead corpse, and he is still able to put his heart on his sleeve. He's bringing his full, towering 6'5" self to the role. And in different ways, he's mastered it. He allows himself to reach his full potential and express huge physicality. But he's also able to embrace the clunkiness that being 6'5" and trying to hide can bring as well. He's bringing the full range of honesty. So what can you learn from that as an actor? What if the thing you are trying to fix is actually your ticket? I hear actors say all the time, oh, I'm too short to be a lead, or my voice is too weird to be able to sing something like that. So they almost try to flatten themselves to be more generic. They try to reach every role, whereas Jacob proves that the specificity is the range. His height got him cast as Elvis, got him cast as the creature, got him cast as Nate Jacobs, got him cast as Felix. Your obstacle is really your superpower, so stop trying to avoid it. So let's answer the title of the video, shall we? What do you do when you have too much range? You stop trying to be a chameleon and be everything and start being a prism. A chameleon changes its colors to match the wall that it's next to. It just completely disappears. That's what most actors do. They say, oh, let me read the script. Who do they want me to be? But a prism stands still. It is made of solid glass, but when light hits it, it bends that light into a rainbow. Jacob Elordi is a prism. The glass never changes. He'll always have his droopy eyes, his specific voice, his towering height, his very specific energy. But when you shine the light of Elvis through him, you get a different kind of coloring. And when you shine a light of Frankenstein through him, a different kind of coloring. He bends the character to fit him. He does not bend to fit the character. So stop asking, can I play this? You can play anything. Start asking yourself, what does this character look like when it's filtered through me? Don't show us the character we want. Show us how you would present this character. That's what we're paying for. You have a flavor. You have an essence. You have a prism. Maybe you aren't low energy like Jacob. Maybe you're high voltage. Maybe you're super neurotic. Maybe you're a very warm individual. Whatever it is, stop trying to fix it to get more range. We are desperate for unique, individual human beings like yourself. Jacob Elordi stopped lying about his height. He embraced his lazy energy and became one of the biggest stars in the world. So imagine what you could do if you start embracing your uniqueness. Go find your prism and let the light hit it. So if you enjoyed this breakdown, I'd really appreciate it if you hit subscribe and the bell and the hype button, because it helps me grow my channel and reach more like-minded people like yourself. If you'd want to work with me to figure out what is your prism, I'd love to work with you. Feel free to click the link in the description below or the pinned comment. And I'll see you next time. Mwah.